Hello, clubbers. Hello, Scarbo. How are we doing? How is everyone?
IRMD, not doing so bad, not bad, not bad. So tonight we have two amazing people from Community Project. Hi, you guys.
Hello, guys.
Good. How are you guys doing?
Hello.
We're doing good, doing good. So G and JV from Community Project. So what's it about?
Shoot, it's all about community. I know
Wow.
we hear that a lot, right, in this environment, but truly it is all about community, community inspired, community driven. With the even with the art and outside of the art, right? We're constantly giving back to the community, more of like a philanthropy.
Yeah,
You know,
it's not giving back. I mean, we give back to like our community and community members and stuff, but we take it beyond that and give back to the community, our own community where we are. So like in December we did kind of like a Toys for Tots. November we gave like turkeys and hams to some veterans.
Real turkeys and hams.
yeah, turkey and
Like for
ham.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
Wow.
And then
Yes.
we delivered teddy bears to our local children's hospital. So it's beyond, just Twitter community and the NFT community. We give back to the world around us, I guess.
Wow. So how would you have got a turkey to England? It'd be rotten, man.
We could get you some canned turkey, mail it out if you want to pay shipping.
Canned
Oh
turkey.
no.
You
Oh
guys don't
God,
have
no.
turkeys in England?
Yeah,
No.
but how would they send me a turkey?
Scarborough, you're a turkey.
Well, yeah, I know that, bro. But how would I get a turkey? Come
I
on,
guess you
MD.
would have to come to the States.
Yeah,
Oh,
the table's
right.
open, buddy.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. Right away.
Yeah, it's been cool. December, the community voted. We contribute 50% of our sales to charity. So it creates the warm fuzzies for us, and I'm feeling like it creates those same fuzzies for the community. So December, the community voted. There's a Twitter member who runs a Steps to Christ ministry. We donated towards their ministry of like helping feed the homeless and just doing events where they're at. So it was really heartwarming, bring a little tear to your eye, just to
Lovely.
be able to give back and be in a position to be able to do that, right? A lot of projects seem to only be focused on their community, and that's it, right? And
If
most of
the
the
community's that lucky, let's be
if they're
honest.
that lucky, because they're just told hold to the moon, right? I know you
Yeah.
love that. I know you love that.
Ah, fucking love to the moon.
So yeah, for us, it's more about creating smiles and paying it forward. A lot of the a lot of the art we get is inspired by the community and requested. I see you just scrolled past
The polar
Schmeckles
bear.
there. The polar
Eh,
bear. Yeah,
How
that
long
was
did
a
that take you to do?
it took longer to write the description. That's one thing. If you want to go to that actually. And I don't
Go
know if
down.
people really pay attention to the descriptions, but there's a lot of heart put into the art, not to rhyme while I'm on the line with you, but a lot of heart goes into the art. No AI art, and the descriptions as well are custom as well. So the
What's your
polar bear
theme
was
generally? It's like you're taking famous persons and you make them into art here, right? In your own style, basically.
so it's kind of funny, and I'll tell you a quick shortened story. But about 2 years ago, I started a project called XRP Aliens. They were all alien themed, which is kind of why you have this look for these characters.
See,
That
I
was
love
back
the
what
aliens. Were you behind the
XLS.
aliens?
There, we may not be talking about the same one, but I started I started on Sologenic, and it was kind of a nightmare back then. I think it was XLS 14.
Mm.
Um, it was a pain. It wasn't easy process. It was costly for a new artist that's kind of balling on a budget, if I could say that. Um, and then kind of when I got back into it, I posted a few aliens. we were trending, right? So it was motivation for me to keep going. So October is about when I started putting out artwork, and my son, being Halloween, we would watch a lot of scary movies. So he's like, you should draw Freddy Krueger, or you should draw Jason. So for the month of October, the challenge was draw a new character every day. So it's kind of funny getting into the, like, that's an older one from like an Aliens collection of Brad Garlinghouse. But through October, it was funny because a lot of people were like, hey, I like your art, but I don't like horror stuff. I'm like, whoa, well, we're not a horror themed project, right? So, let me know what you'd like to see. So
Good.
over the past few months, we get some ideas like Eminem, or you see Schmeckles there. That was a lot of fun to create. He could probably tell you a story about that, but probably a year and a half ago, I drew an NFT of him and gave it to him. And I was honored, but he's like, man, this made me laugh out loud, right? So I know he liked it, but I'm like, man, I didn't do him justice. A little De Niro, that's probably one of my favorite ones there. But the community really likes that celebrity, and being inspired by community, or just people that may have motivated you. Michael Jackson, I mean, you can't say
Yeah,
nothing wrong about
that
Michael
that
Jackson, but
we'll just leave that one at Michael Jackson.
yeah, we won't touch that one.
No, no.
But it's been cool the community seems to really like those celebrities. Then it kind of got into people would mention characters I've never heard of, some anime characters, or the custom Jason, right? Like Jay Kill, who's a big supporter throughout the XRPL ecosystem. I requested that, and he's a big Jason fan. So just find ways to give back, and create custom NFTs for people. There's a lot of collections out there, but truly these are all one of one, right? Like,
Yeah.
we could change them. I could make a whole trunk collection if we wanted to, but what's the
What's the
point?
point?
The hands and
Yeah.
fingers are uncanny. And then the mouth here, it's really nice.
Yeah. Illusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you made a collection of one, then you're pigeonholing yourself, because then where'd you go? Another collection of ones, and another collection of, say, Marios, and another collection of.
Right, and that's it. Not that it's a flex to create all of these one of ones. It's more of like a challenge.
Yeah.
Last night, if you want to sort it by recent mints, a member requested a Benjamin Franklin, and it was really the hardest one that I did, the first one there. So then I was like, well, wait a minute, what if I had him electrocuted? So kind of adding that spin on it. It wasn't what they asked for, but then I said, hey, which one would you prefer? And they liked the this one, right? There was just a random thought once I was done, like, hey, let's make him electrified, right? And
You
Yeah.
can see
some
the
light
skull
on.
coming through here. That's great.
So it's been a lot of fun, and I kind of slacked the last month, not creating one a day, right? Because there's so much we want to do, and there's so much we want to give back, but kind of limited to my hands. Or my son sees me drawing, and he's put out a collection, so it's really cool. And he's only 7, but he wanted a PS5, and I was like, you can make an NFT collection, but if you do, just know that half of the money we're giving back to charity to help those in need. And he was all about it. So
Oh, good for him.
Is this
it's really
David?
touching, right? It
Yeah,
is,
that's
yeah.
lovely.
That
This
was
is-
created for the loot box collab for the poker event.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't say anywhere here that it's David, but you can see right away.
Well, ain't hard, is it?
You can see it. And Brad here
Um,
again.
Yeah, so I figured that would be fitting with all of the different XRP communities coming together with prizes. I created a
Spec
little.
Ops.
Spec Ops.
Yeah,
Spec.
that's
Who
my
doesn't
man.
know
Oh,
Spec
lovely.
Ops?
Who
Who
doesn't know
doesn't?
Spec,
Yeah.
man?
He's like true community, right?
Yeah,
And-
if
Oh,
you don't know Spec Ops, you're
he's
not in the
awesome.
community either
No,
long
he's
enough
an
or at
awesome.
all. Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Get out
he's
of here if you don't know spec.
yeah, just in the
Seriously.
recording now. Don't listen to the end. There's no prize for you, right? Like,
Yeah.
do not pass go.
Yeah.
Spec is like
There's nothing in here for your spec.
Spec's the man. He's he's community. That's how we are. That's how I would think a majority, or if not everyone, should be on the XRPL. Is that right? They should be that way. Um,
Should be.
Maybe I'm out
this
of the
was
loop,
funny.
but what about the little dove here?
Oh, the pigeon. This
Pigeon,
was a this was a custom. So with the project, if you have five, I think it's five. I'll have to look, but if you purchase five NFTs, you'll get a custom created. So RJ Kells, he's big in the community, a big supporter, several projects as well. But this was a custom that he requested. So I kind of added my little random craziness at the end of having the little pigeon, since Mike Tyson loves them pigeons. I can't add in the th to that word, but good eye, you didn't miss that little pigeon.
So you
I
guys
Yeah.
do Twitter Spaces as well, don't you?
We do, yes. So I do Spilling the Tea as a community gathering place, and I do get people on there like artists and stuff, and it's kind of turned into, a community space, but it's also turned into like a networking space, which has been awesome to see. So a lot of other collabs have kind of happened through there, and I don't know, people just get together and, you know, shoot, BS and
But don't you think, JB, that's what they should all be about? Networking, Twitter Spaces, not some guy just talking shit for an hour. It should be about networking and
Right.
getting to know each other and sharing ideas, be after Twitter and all the rest of it.
Hey, you left the
yeah,
part out though. You left the part out, Scarbo. It's not just someone up there talking the whole time, but you have to say the word community into the moon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Community.
589, right? Let's
it is.
go.
It's all community, and not even some of them haven't even been just XRP people, but yeah, it's been cool. People like bounce ideas off each other, and people that are new to like trying to do this or get into like NFTs. There's the OGs who have been there to like help them and kind of reach their hands out to be there and support. So it's growing, and it's been really cool to watch it like just flourish.
Yeah, and to add more to that, JV does an incredible job of like finding artists or reaching out to those artists and learning more about their projects, right? Like an interview style, but then also open it up. Through that process, you learn a lot of people are intimidated by spaces, or a lot of projects are overseas, right? So they're not really comfortable maybe with their English or saying the right words. So it's kind of giving them that platform, like an XRPL Toastmasters, right? You can get up there and speak with confidence, and it's it's been really cool, and actually inspired the unrecorded space that I run called the G Spot, which it's not what you think it is. I'm glad you found it.
We
You're
don't think
here.
nothing.
Oh, I do. I do
You
think
do, right?
something.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I do.
But
Every week they're looking for that G spot, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Never find it, Joey. Well, we're men, we never find the G spot. So,
I
I
saw it.
didn't
It's on
say
the
it.
internet.
You
You
said
guys have a
Google,
link to it. That helps.
Google, Google found it.
Google found it, yeah.
Dang it. Scott GPT knows about it too.
Yeah.
Uh, no, but
There's
just
bound to be a YouTube about it as well,
that
somewhere.
that could be interesting. Yeah, or late night cinema style.
Yeah.
Uh, but no, that's been cool. It's unrecorded. There's a different G every week, so it's not what you think it is. The first official show we had, Hamza hosted it with me, and we discussed gratitude and being grateful, and so there's a theme to it, but it's more of an open discussion. the most recent one we had, since it's not recorded, there's so many ideas that come through the community. Everyone kind of has a different skill set and something unique that they bring to the environment that they're building on. So sharing those ideas sparked ideas. We were talking about like scratch and sniff NFTs and
Oh, I was
how
on
that,
that one. I listened to that
yeah,
one.
that was a good one. There were some cool ideas that came out of there. Some of them I would imagine we might see a project that's doing that. I'm not going to repeat it here because, what if we use that with the person that mentioned that great idea? That would be pretty neat to see something come from like, a napkin to Shark Tank or just a mumble on the G spot to fruition. So that's been fun.
Sniff NFT.
Yeah, could you imagine? I guess there's a phone that'll do that. An O phone, right? Remember I said it couldn't be an iPhone. It has whatever it was. So I don't remember who mentioned it, but yeah,
I
the O
don't
phone.
know. I mean, that got way about. It was some of it was like, oh, you blow my head away now with the Earth and all. It's like, oh man.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
You know
for
what I mean?
sure.
yeah, with Vincent, right? Some of the Matrix things are things to think about.
Yeah.
It's really an amazing community. And there may not be a million listeners, but that doesn't matter. It's not for them. It's for the people that
No.
join and want to engage and
And
maybe
most of
learn
them would
something
want
or
something
laugh.
for free anyway, G, wouldn't they? Let's be honest. If you had that many. So what do I get for nothing? Nothing.
Yeah, you get to hear our voice and
Yeah,
you get
you
to
get to
participate.
listen.
Yeah,
Be
but
grateful.
Well, let's
be
face it,
grateful. Yeah,
most people on any place or any project or any ledger don't really do anything, right? So the creators are just a few, and so most people don't participate directly. So I applaud people who produce something and create something and put themselves out there.
yeah. And normally a community has a voice, right? But for us, like we are that voice, and for the XRPL community and those that kind of engage, they are just as much part of that show as we are, right? Like PNKS, great project, love that community. V is amazing. We share a lot of the same ideas when it comes to kind of philanthropy and just the community. So yeah, I tell him the space is as much yours as mine. Scarbo, you too. I mean, XRP Club, that's your spot. Get in there. And you are
Oh,
in there, so
oh,
I'm not
we're
telling
too
you
we're
anything.
too shy, buddy, to talk.
Yeah, right. So it's been cool. December December was more of customs. I did actually have an NFT that got a copyright infringement, ironically,
Oh,
because it
really?
looked nothing. Yeah, I got a message from XRP Cafe that they had to pull one down. It was an elf on a shelf, right? Since we have a little one here, and he looks forward to Eli and his little buddy Ella coming yearly and tearing up our house and just doing inappropriate things around the house. Um, those little things. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those, but they're little demons, those little elf on a shelf. But this one was gangstered out. It had a naughty elf shirt. He had a candy cane grill, right? He looked good. He had a teardrop tattoo. So I wasn't sure why it would have got pulled down for infringement because it had the same shape, but maybe it's because it was called Elf on a Shelf.
Well, there is some artistic freedom,
And
right?
then with,
As soon as
but
you're
then,
doing it artistically, there isn't really a case, Uh, I think
but
that's
then we've
difficult.
seen some virtually fucking Marvel copying,
For sure.
We saw literally Marvel copying.
literally Marvel. I
I've
can't
seen
remember
some
where
that
we've seen them, but
they look like Disney characters, and I'm like,
yeah,
how can you get away with this? But it's not for me. It's like, hey, that's cool. You made money off that. I wouldn't feel comfortable with that.
no,
Well, you can do
I'd be
Mickey
waiting
Mouse
for
now,
the
right?
knock on the door.
The old Mickey Mouse is now
I
copyright free. The Steamboat
I
Willie
did see
version.
one. Yeah, I saw that, and there's a project. Who did the Donnie Trumps, the little Donalds? I'm probably saying the name of the project wrong, but yeah, they got a Steamboat Willie pixel. It's like a
Oh,
black and white
yeah, I
project.
saw those. Yeah, yeah. I don't see any gremlins on here.
Yeah, Gremlins is actually on the list, and if you're a
Oh,
Never Ending Story fan, I got challenged to make a Falcor.
oh yeah,
And
yeah,
you
yeah,
Wow.
can't have Falcor without Atreyu. Not to be nerdy, but it just ain't gonna happen.
yeah.
But it's been cool. Some people present ideas of create this person, and I'm like, I don't know who that is, right? So I get
Pinhead.
to learn about different characters. Um, there was the vampire-esque girl that was out before Elvira, that Joan Jett, right? We all know Joan Jett, but getting to learn a little bit more about her and her music. So not only am I creating art for someone that wants it, but I'm getting to learn something about, that,
Education as well.
right? Like, or bringing nostalgia back with NFTs being
Do you have
baseball
Marty
cards.
also?
I don't know. No, I was on a Schmeckles stream once, and I was kind of drawn while he was running his Twitch game of marbles. Which, not to plug him, but shout out Schmeckles. If you're not part of that community, definitely should. You should be. It's
Talk
a lot of
away on
fun.
air, but we don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care in the
December
sense as everyone's welcome. Not
Yeah.
that we
for
don't
sure.
care. We care.
And that's what I like. That's what I like about XRP Club. You guys are big community advocates as well. Scarbo, you're everywhere, man. I don't know how you do it.
I
With
don't
For
know how he
No,
real.
does
mate.
it.
No,
He,
mate.
he has no time for anything, and he's everywhere at the same time. It's a miracle. You must have some other Scarbos of you there out
No, no,
there.
no.
You have some
yeah,
AI
the
running your discords. I don't know how you do
yeah,
no,
the
I've
troll
calmed down.
account.
it.
Yeah, I had to cut back.
Yeah.
But it's been neat, right? Getting that exception by some artists that I would consider like OGs in the space, like Awesome Possum, um, you know, kind of being introduced to the possums were the first NFT that I bought on XRP when it was IOU. So it's crazy to think how you grow from a fan of art to then collabing with those artists, or several artists, up and coming artists, right? Like, I remember being new and having questions and kind
It's
of,
it is weird, isn't it? How I mean, me and MD come from Flair, and we came over, and you're very new, and it's like, before you know it, people know you and they talk to you, and it is crazy. The
oh,
more
for
you
sure.
actually spend talking to people instead of good morning, the
Yeah,
more you get to
GM.
know people, and the more you get to appreciate the people behind the projects and things like that, and what they do, and the time they put into this stuff.
Yeah, we find this fascinating. That's why we love to do the YouTubes where we can get into the details of the artist who created them and the motivation and how that all comes together and gives a totally different view of the project, than just looking
Yeah,
at the
person.
JPEGs. And I wish more people would be interested in that, because it's precious, it's really interesting.
Yeah, and that's always the argument, right? I like AI art. I think anyone can type in, if you can type 80 words per minute, you can generate some cool prompts
Ah,
for AI art.
depends
I can
which
type,
platform you're using, buddy.
So we have some split opinion on AI art,
Yeah,
right? Because
we're very
let's hear
we
split.
it.
have done the AI art thing. We've gotten actual PCs set up and built just for that purpose. And we found out that isn't easy as you think it is.
It's not. If
You
you
can
get away
spend,
from Mid-Journey,
yeah, you can
it's
get
a lot
weeks,
harder.
yeah, to fine tune like that specific image that you're looking for. If you're not like an artist, for example, Scarbo, right?
I'm
You're not
not.
an artist.
No,
So
I'm not.
for
No.
him, it's kind of the only way to express himself, and I think it's a bit
Right?
underrated, but I see what you're saying. It's used in a cheap way as well.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there's goes a lot
It's
of
an
work goes
idle
into
way.
that. Yeah,
It
yeah.
can
So
be an idle way.
yeah,
I
it
mean, in
can
the
be.
sense, and I'm not going to call out the project, but in talking with a project that maybe had a project on Ethereum and then launched the same project on the XRPL
Oh,
to,
that happens a lot.
and it looks like a cash grab, or you create an AI project with some BS reward structure and then create
Yeah.
another project and another project. It's like, man, what are you doing? Just focus on one
Yeah.
project. If you want to make an AI rug or
Focus
something like
on
that,
that. But if you're,
But
I
yeah,
see, I look at it, if you're producing an AI project, which is whatever, as I say, we don't use Midjourney and all the rest of it. If you're going to do that, stick to that rather than that, just pushing it out there constantly. Just concentrate on that one theme
for
and
sure.
get it
I'm
better
not
and
against
redo it and redo it.
exactly, and that's it, right? There's some amazing AI artists or projects with AI art that's just amazing. But for me, drawing or continuously learning to draw, right, and hone in my craft or style, it's like, I don't know. I guess I would be on the fence if it's something that took time and someone put love and their heart and energy into, rather than just like create a picture of a squirrel, or
Yeah.
not to plug our generative collection, but create a
Oh,
squirrel, right?
Oh man.
Alpha drop, alpha drop.
I think this AI art thing is really early, you know. It's gonna still evolve, I believe, and I think that artists themselves will find a way into it maybe down the road when things are more evolved and you can put more your own spin on it, your own artistic touch, you know. Because right now it's really just the AI is doing all the art, right? But maybe down the road it'll be a bit more artistic for the creator, you know. It's kind of reduced in a way, right? Because you have to pick the model, you have to pick what kind of data that model uses. And then from there, it's really just, how do you say, it generates it out of what's been made before. It doesn't know anything else. It's not really creative, right?
Right.
Whereas an
So,
artist has that creative inspiration and nothing comes close to that, no matter how much AI you will do. But I think it'll coexist, you know, it'll be there. It has its places, right? So I've seen a
yeah,
lot of
and
the
then
stock companies, for example, like Getty Images, even they're getting into AI,
right.
which is kind of
Well, every
me as a photographer. I'm kind of looking at that. Okay, so I spend thousands of dollars traveling to Machu Picchu, and then they themselves offer up an AI where you can just generate some images of Machu Picchu, and then they sell that, you know, instead of the pictures, the real ones where I've actually been there, you know. So I get that. It's the same for artists, like for regular art, as for photographers. It's kind of a difficult subject.
yeah,
There's
and
a
it's
fine balance,
everywhere.
I think.
Well, think of this, JV. When you did your photography, think of how long it took in Photoshop to kind of, get the right look or the right filter, or, vignette, however you wanted that picture to look. Where now, even in Photoshop, it has AI built into it to remove stuff that would take you
A
like an
second,
hour
yeah,
before to do, right? Like,
yeah,
so using Photoshop for, man, I don't know, 20 plus years, since
same
the,
here.
the bootleg version you'd get off Pirate Bay, right? The free version, uh, to, to just seeing what it does now. It's like, man, just that one thing alone would take hours using the pen tool to outline something just to remove the background. It's like, and now you can do it in a click of a button.
Yeah, just
Uh,
you
So,
know, edit, draw a line around, say remove this, and then you can put in anything else, right? In seconds. Whereas before it would take you half a day to crop out something and replace it or whatnot.
so the funny thing for me is I'm definitely not talented to draw like by any means. So my big thing is I'm really big into photography, but I do not use any tools. I don't use Photoshop, but I will tell you it takes me, taking 2,000 pictures just to get that one shot that I want. So in that aspect, like knowing the effort or what I'm looking for, trying to capture or, whatever it is, like, I don't know. I never want like as much as technology has advanced, like I never want that to like be replaced. You know what I mean?
It's not authentic anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Photography should be the art of capturing the moment the way you see it, right? And if it takes you 10,000 photos, once you get there to that one shot, that's the art of it, you know, that you set it all up right and on the right time of day, the right angle. I mean, there's so much. I'm a photographer as well, so I know exactly what you're talking
no.
about. You know, it can't be replaced. I'm seeing it maybe differently for commercial uses, you know, but as a real photographer, this will not replace. It's not a tool I would use as well, you know.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. I like it. I like it, authentic. I like it raw. I like those little, even the blooper pictures, like sometimes the accidental pictures are the best, but yeah, I don't know. I've never been big on like using different tools to edit or anything like that. It is what it is.
And people are going back to that more and more, right? We've seen now Polaroid has been revived, basically, right? So
Right.
you have one shot and that's it, and you have then 20 shots on that film or whatever. And people are going back as well to the film photos, right? That you have to develop and so forth. So with the film grain and all of it, So that's the
Yeah,
art of photography for me as well.
and I had no
Right.
idea about Polaroids coming back, but my son's like, check out
Yeah,
this picture that we took, and he pulls his phone up, but then he flipped it over and he had a Polaroid in there. I'm like, where did you dig this out of? Like Back to the Future, like
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
cool to
it
see.
still exists.
Right?
Yeah, it's they're bringing it back actually. So they've come out with new cameras and they've been developing new film material from scratch. It's quite interesting. So there's a trend back as well as like things like going back to vinyl, right? Has seen a
Vinyl,
Oh
revival in a
yeah,
yeah.
way.
definitely.
So people appreciate the analog again after seeing that the digital is kind of like a shortcut and it misses the soul, I think.
And I can't lie. If you type kinetic in the top, I did use some AI to animate some NFTs. So I wanted to try something new. So we created a little project called Kinetic Movement, where it's just some animated NFTs. Um, we got the little stone Chewbacca over there. Once we finished the Chewbacca, we were like, oh, let's change him, right? Let's make him something completely different, even though it
Yeah,
was a request.
but this is
Like, ah,
pretty cool. I like when it
gotta
has
make it
animation.
fun.
It's really nice. I like
Yeah,
that.
and it's nothing compared to what you see other artists do with animation, but it's like, well, let's dabble in it. So that was a photo leap, right? Is the product, but it lets you, animate. That's outside of I'm dabbling in Procreate, so that's like a whole another platform, and just being so comfortable and confident with Photoshop, it's kind of hard to switch gears to another product, even though it may make the work easier.
You guys, I know you guys are on a have a little bit of a time crunch today. You guys have the spaces to go to. How are we looking? Do you guys, Nick, do you have any
I,
questions
I
Let's
got
for
do it.
15 minutes.
15 minutes?
I
Okay,
would
we're still
say
good.
I would say some of the highlights, for community or holders. It's all about holders and rewards. And we definitely want people to, if they buy it, sell it, make some money if you have to make some money, right? That's what we're all here for. I think a lot of people are kind of beat into their head, like just hold, right? Just hold because they don't want to see their floor go down. But you got to do what you got to do. If you can make money off the project, make money off the project. In the end, we're still fulfilling what we want, and that's happy community and giving back to the community with monthly royalties based on the sales.
Okay,
We're
interesting.
all
So yeah, tell us about that
Another,
part.
sorry, another thing on that as well, G. As you say, people, we're here to make money. I think a lot of people get trapped into, if I sell, I'm like the black sheep of the family. I can't sell. Well,
yeah, exactly.
sell it. You're no different. We're all here to make money, and I think a lot of people do get scared and trapped into selling
Well, I think a lot
at
of
times.
communities rely on the community to, or a lot of projects rely on the community to be that marketing team or to retweet this or go do this.
Yeah,
It's like you definitely want the community to support it, but they're not your employees, right? They're there for the community probably more than anything, for the friendships they make within that community.
definitely. And me and MD have spoke a lot of times, and you'll agree that if no one sells, then the project stagnates and it's pointless anyway, because it's not moving anywhere. What's the point of it now? If it doesn't move, it sits.
Exactly. And I think the XRP ecosystem's different, right? Because we probably all got in XRP because we heard the same influencer saying to the moon and $10,000, $20,000 a coin. So I think that kind of limits people's spending on the XRP.
Yeah,
They have it in their ledger locked away, and they're
yeah,
reluctant to do anything with it, which they have to use their XRP in order for the XRP to grow, right? And
yeah.
for the
If
price
no
to
one
go up.
sells, it sits, and what's the point? It's one of them.
So you have 261 unique NFTs, right? One of ones basically. Um, they're sold out, correct? As I can see. And
Yeah,
people can buy them
the
though, right? And tell
yeah,
us a
they
little
can buy
bit
them.
about the percentage of sales. How does that work?
50% goes back to charity, whatever that charity is for the month. December we did a vote for it. That's when it went to the ministry. But 50% goes to charity. 5% 5% goes back to the community in royalties. So whatever those sales are, that's going to go back to the community.
So you
On
guys,
top of
yeah, so you guys have a Discord where people can find out more and be part of the community and find out
yeah,
about all those details as well, right?
yeah, and don't be afraid to ask. You know, I'm in there a lot. The community is also there to help, right? Like a lot of the community members, they treat it like it's their project, and that's what we want. We kind of created our Discord around promoting and helping artists get that promotion. A lot of new artists, they don't have that outlet of where can I share my art other than Twitter. So think
And
of like
that's a big shit, to be honest. That does gripe me where people can't show, they can't show what they're building, all these new projects. So what do they
or
do?
they get a shill zone. So in the States, there's office buildings where you can rent a room to run your business. So you might have a building with 100 businesses being ran out of there. So that's kind of what we wanted to do with the Discord is give these projects a place to promote themselves. And over time, there's big name artists within the community that, you know, they're promoting their work, they're promoting their community within community project. Because really, we're all in this together, right? And there isn't that tribalism of, you know, we're going to go against all these projects because they're on the XRPL. Well, if we grow, everyone grows. And I feel like that's how it should be with all communities.
Definitely.
So
'Cause it
that's
don't
kind of
grow
what we
without the
created.
community. It doesn't work.
And you can't do that, right? You have to be open to collab with artists, even if they're new, right? Or whatever the case is, you have, I can't even say open-minded. You have to be a community advocate. That's it.
I think it's just a natural thing that you're there for everybody. It's regardless of what you're doing, as long as you're not rugging, obviously. But
Yeah, no, we're
can't
not
have
going
can't have
anywhere.
can't have
We got
ruggers.
plans.
That's what they are. But
There's too much talent within the ecosystem for anyone to walk away. And I'll just speak for us. I know other projects stay building, even during like this bear market. They're still growing and evolving because now's the time to do it. So we're not done. The art, right? We have the one of ones. The community voted on kind of the sketch for the generative collection. I'm thinking maybe 500, uh, if not less than that, just based on current market. We're working on some music NFTs. There's a lot of talent within communities. You just have to ask. So there's a lot of musicians, photographers, poets, collaborated with other music projects in the environment. So it's cool. This is going to be a good year for I'll say us in the community, but I think in XRP as a whole.
see, you had a couple of music people on your last Twitter's X space, didn't you? You had a
We
couple of
did,
music
yeah, and
guys on
it
there.
was neat. The Duck Set, they're doing a lot with music NFTs and kind of making it easier for artists to get more into a Web3 environment. But there's a lot still that's Web2, unfortunately, within the XRPL or even as a whole. But we had the main guy from NFT Tempo on there, Niles, who's great, a great source of information and a big help for artists that, you know, as a musician or former musician, it's like if these tools were available then, there's it's limitless potential of what you could do with your music if you put it out there. Because the tools are there, and people are so willing to help out or pass on that knowledge, which we learned in that space, right? It's like
Yeah.
one comment sparked an entire conversation on kind of getting started and what that environment's adding in the future to make it easy for everyone.
How are we with
So there's a
time?
lot of, I'm good.
You're good? Nick, you got any other questions?
No, I'm done with my questions.
JV, you want to chime in on something? You've been quiet.
Yeah.
No, I think G covered a lot of it. I think I don't know, it's just for me because I'm newer with all of this, like in general, you know, even in the XRP community and ecosystem, and I kind of started late. So no, just to see like the growth and the communities, and like G said, there's so much talent out there. That's where I thrive. G does all the artwork, and I thrive with like the community and the people, and you know, seeing the different things people have to offer. You know, a lot of people, and it's funny, like even people who don't create NFTs or, you know, aren't part of like art or anything like that, it's like every time we talk to new people, they have like these hidden talents that we find out about. So it's been cool. Like I really enjoy the community, and as it's growing, I feel like I'm growing with it. And I don't know, it's awesome. It's been great to see and be a part of, and you know, learn and get to know people, you know, like we said, with even just the spaces, like being able to network together or help each other or whatever. So that growth it's important to me to see, but equally like just forming and cultivating those relationships and, you know, collabs with people and stuff. It's really, it's gotten to my heart.
Ah.
And it's her fault, right? Like when we got into it, she actually introduced me to a group in Telegram, right? Like 2+ years ago, 3 years ago. We got into stocks when it was like the AMC GameStop stuff, and we made good money off of AMC and got out at the right time. So that let us kind of transition into ISO 200, you know, ISO coins. And it kind of started there, right? And took off from there. To NFTs were a trend. So I put up a few pieces on OpenSea and realized you have to be like a big name or have a big following to sell that art.
Yeah, definitely.
And then
Yeah,
moving over to the XRPL. So I guess I would say this, it's not like closing words, but communities are pretty demanding of what they expect from their community. And I get it, right? You love the project, you're going to do everything you can for that project, but it's not a job, it's not a requirement. So for us, it's like we have a community, they're a great community, couldn't ask for a better community that's organically growing. We don't pay anyone, we don't we don't pay for shilling or anything like that. So
yeah, you're
once
hitting all the
like
key points there with organic
Mm.
growth and the not paying for
Organic,
followers. We've seen a lot
man.
of that happening. It's sad, and it's not really real. It doesn't do anything.
no,
It
Well,
so at
we
the
drives
end
me
of
looked at the prices
crazy.
of we looked at the prices last week of buying subscribers and that, and it's so easy. It's awful. It's so easy.
It's
and you
so
see a
sad
lot
to
of
me. It
It's just false. You've got false people.
well,
Yeah, and I know, not to, I'm not going to mention any projects, but we've definitely been involved in, you know, even just as community members where we've seen it happen. And it's like, I don't know, it kind of made me step back, and I'm very big, like even with like giveaways and stuff. You know, I tell G, like, I don't even want to do giveaways on like my
No.
account because it's been so organically grown that like I don't, you know, it's just me, but I don't know. I like that. I feel like it's more genuine and authentic, right?
Well, they're there for
yeah,
you rather than the freebie. It's
Yeah.
right.
a free. I mean, me and MD, we've been given NFTs, we've done giveaways on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, and I do it, and the amount of DMs, it's like you haven't even done it properly. You can't even follow a simple instruction because all you're after is something for free. And then I get pictures of, but my baby, it's like you're talking to the wrong guy. I really don't give a shit.
Right.
That baby's 30 now. I've seen
Yeah.
it 20 times. It's like, but my baby, it's like, seriously, you can't even follow a simple instruction, but you want it because it's free. And they're
Yeah,
out there,
yeah.
they're freebie hunters.
Yeah, exactly. And G's really good. G is really good at like trolling, but there's
What?
times, not you, no. There's
Yeah, no.
times even with like his giveaways where like he will, he'll be like, we do a lot of giveaways like in our Discord and stuff for like our members, but like he'll put the instructions in the tweet, right? And you get everybody tweeting and retweeting, but no one reads the fine print.
Yeah. And it's not that fine a print, is it? It's not like pages
Yeah.
of fine print legally binding you. It's like all you had to do was like retweet and maybe join a Discord.
Yeah,
That was
just
it.
read.
Read it. And
Yeah.
and I'm glad you touched on that. So holders of community project NFTs, we like to continuously do giveaways. So when NFTs sell, right, not only do we save a portion of that for the charity, but we're also putting a lot, if not most of that money back into the project and supporting other projects to do giveaways for our holders to learn more about other projects, right? Not advice, or we're not telling them to invest in that project, but it's just helping other
Just to get
artists
them
get
out
exposure.
there.
So I would say this, right, and I'll end it with this. So after a day of working for your communities or whatever you're doing, community projects like that family dinner that you have once a week, where it's like we're there, we don't expect anything out of the community. It's not a job. Just have fun and let's go. Let's get it. Look
Have
forward
fun.
to my piggy gifts, and that's
Have
keep it
fun.
simple.
I think too, it's like kind of separated community project from a lot of projects. It's like we aren't in it for the profit, like, yeah, it's great. And the best part is being able to like give back to our holders. They invest in us and our projects. So the least we can do is like give back to them. But on top of that, with giving, and giving to the community outside of, in the real world. But for us, like there's no profit. We don't put the money in our pockets. Like this is strictly community driven. Like I can never express that enough. Like
Good for you.
Hey guys, I really want to thank you for your time.
Yeah.
I do have a hard stop. I appreciate you taking the time out
We
to
appreciate
talk
you,
with us.
Jay.
And thanks for all you do for the environment and the community. I think it's huge. And let's go. I'm not gonna say it, but we're here. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
JVG, thanks ever so much for
thanks
joining
for
us
being
and
here.
taking time out.
Everyone who's
Thank
been following,
you.
watching, join the Discord, check out the Twitter and check out the collection. And with that, Nick,
Hit
To
the
the
Discord with a
moon.
squirrel. To the
yeah.
moon.